Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the campus of Howard Community College in Columbia, Maryland. We apologize for the technical difficulties to start this game, but we are up and running now as the Howard Dragons are ahead 3-1 on the CCBC Essex Knights. Essex scored the first goal early on in the game. Howard has responded back with 3 unanswered goals. Jacob Bieschke of the Knights scored the first one for the Knights, and for Howard, it was Pesci, Faust, and Stubbs putting in the 3 goals for the Dragons. We have 7 minutes left in this first quarter. This is Stubbs getting a run from the top. Decides to pull it back. Rosen gives it up to Brennan. Brandon Klopp goes behind the goal. It's going to be an illegal screen against Howard. Faust called for the turnover foul, and it's going to go back towards the Knights.
Yeah, I think so. I can't check, but if he did everything, then yeah.
Going towards goal. Howard with the shot. Goal! Pesci scores from close range, and it's a 4-1 Dragons lead. Dragons goal scored by number 8, William Pesci. So Pesci is able to dunk it in, and the Dragons now lead 4-1 with 6:20 left in the first quarter. And it's going to be a face-off violation against the Knights, as Howard will get the free possession to start the game. After 4 straight goals for the Dragons. Beautiful day here in Columbia. It's a balmy 78 right now. It is windy. Few clouds in the sky, but for the most part, it is a gorgeous day for some prime time lacrosse. As these two top 5 ranked teams going at each other. However, there's not a whole lot on the line, as it is already a guarantee that they will rematch against each other in the Region 20 tournament semifinals next week on the campus of Essex. That pass going across is going to be snagged away by the Knights goalkeeper, as Parker able to pick that one off. Going the other way, Essex. Fast break attempt, it's going to go in, and the Knights have responded after the 4 straight goals for Howard. The Knights pull one back. Knights goal scored by number 31, Garrett Luber. $37. Foul 37, 1 minute. Unnecessary roughness. Foul on Howard, number 37. Marcelo Yoko, 1 minute penalty. So Marcelo Yoko is called for the penalty. Originally it was called against 67. Got clarification that it was 37. And it's going to be a face-off violation against the Dragons. So not only does Howard go man down, but they also are going to have to not even get a chance to get the face-off after that one. Essex with a chance to close this lead. Andrews working his way from the top. Pass inside. Good breakup by the Dragons. And it's going to be Kobe Brown to pick it up. But it was the quick stick of Shane Dubois able to get in the middle there. It's going to be almost picked off. Calora had to meet that pass. Otherwise, that was going to be a free goal for Peyton Maritson, who almost had a wide open goal. Howard able to get it across. 10 seconds left on the penalty as they just try to kill off the rest of it. And it looks like they will be able to survive. Volpe decides to go inside. Faust tries the quick shot. It's going to be saved by Parker. So the penalty is killed off. And we are back to being all even. This is Gavin Titelbaum trying to work through and able to make his way across the line for a good clear. Knights working it behind the goal. Now they decide to pull it back and get set up. Wojtek finds Andrews. Andrews starts to make a run on JT Ferguson. This is Kamari Hurd looking to go behind the goal. Decides to flip it across the field instead to Maritson. Working the ball around. Nice movement. Shot there. It's going to be high, as that was Peyton Stevens who let one loose. Maritson from behind the goal. Trying to get inside. Maritson with the off-balance shot, and he's going to be not only have his shot saved, but also in the crease, and Howard will take over. Quick pass up. That's going to be Wade Davis, as he will get across without much trouble. Now he's going to lose the ball. Good job there, picking it up his tub. And back up front to Joseph McConaughey. Howard looking to set up their offense now. Behind the net. Faust passes inside. Rosen shot, goal! The Dragons add another one. It's a 5-2 lead. Lucas Rosen, fresh off being named the Region 20 Player of the Month, adds to his total. One of the top 5 point scorers in the entire NJCAA. Dragons goal scored by number 22, Lucas Rosen. So Rosen becomes the 5th different goal scorer for Howard in the game, as they have spread the wealth around. Face off inside. And it's going to be picked up, and it's going to be not only a win, but also another man-up opportunity, as Max Johnson able to come through with a big play. Penalty on Howard, number 35, Ethan Sands, pushing, 30-second penalty. So Ethan Sands gets called for the pushing penalty, his first penalty of the day, and that is going to be just a 30-second technical. But the Knights, with their second chance, man up early in this game. They'll work it around the edge. Now looking to get inside, bounce shot, and that's going to go wide. That was Peyton Stevens, the freshman from Baltimore, Maryland. Another bounce shot. This time it's going to be Andrews. That goes wide as well. Seven seconds left on the penalty. Essex, one last chance. Trying to get the man up. No look pass. Jump shot is going to be off the post. That was Joshua Crookshank who let one loose, and it hit the far post squarely. And Howard gets the rebound to take possession with just under 2 minutes left in this first quarter. Davis able to bounce off a check. Moving forward, gives it up. Shot, Rosen scores! Lucas Rosen puts another one in the back of the net, his second straight goal. And the Dragons make it a 6-2 lead. Give a lot of credit to Wade Davis for that quick clear and that set up the opportunity. Dragons goal scored by number 22, Lucas Rosen. So the Dragons offense is clicking in this first quarter. 6 first quarter goals against this Knights team. And an early flinch, that's going to go against the Knights. Howard will get possession. Quinn Brennan back on the field alongside John Stubbs and Brandon Klopp for the midfield trio to go along with the attacking Faust, Pesci, and Rosen. This is Rosen. Goes to his left. Back behind the back pass. Brennan can't catch it cleanly. It's going to bounce around. A stick goes flying away, and the Dragons come away with it. Rosen with the ground ball. Howard has a chance here. That was actually the stick of Brennan that got broken there, and Howard had to swap him out. Dragons with 25 on the shot clock, 35 on the game clock. Can essentially go for a last shot here. Faust with a swim move inside, gets through a couple defenders, gives it up. Rosen with the shot. That's going to be saved in front. Oh, it actually went off a defender. And the clock will be stopped as the Knights player took that shot. And that one looked like it hurt for sure. Looked like it was the sophomore defender Jackson Ryan that took that one.
When I tilt down, it's alright. Not anymore. Now it's just dark. Now it's just super dark no matter what I do. It was.
So Ryan able to get off on his own power, thankfully. And with 20 seconds left, the Knights do take possession. Going through the middle of the field, long pass across to Maritzen. 5 seconds left, he'll just throw it into the corner. And that will just about do it with just 1 second left in the quarter. Brown will let one fly, and that will do it. But a dominating start for the Howard Dragons. They take a 6-2 lead after the first 15 minutes of play. Yeah, got it. And that's the problem. This Second quarter about to be underway here in Columbia, Maryland, as the Howard Dragons lead the CCBC Essex Knights 6-2. Last second instructions for the offense with head coach Eric Faust, who has had quite a resurgence this year after a couple of years that have not met the expectations of what this Howard Dragons team has been on the national stage for so many years. Back in the mix this year, and certainly a team that is able to compete at the highest level, looking to try to get back into that trophy mindset. It's going to be Marcello Yoko again, this time going up against Drea Washington, and Howard comes away with the win. And a quick goal, the Dragons add to it. Evan Tubb, the defender from Laurel, Maryland. The long pole puts one in. And who doesn't love a long pole goal? Dragons goal, scored by number 27, Evan Tubb. So the Dragons add to the lead. Now 7-2. Essex comes through with that ground ball on the faceoff. That's Kanan Santiago. And it's going to be a late flag thrown, and that's going to definitely be against the Dragons. So it's going to be a slashing against Dominic D'Amico. So the Dragons will go down a man when we come back from this timeout. So the Dragons will be a man down once again as D'Amico takes a knee in the sin bin. The Knights once again man up, trying to make something happen. Maritzen from behind the goal. Crookshank gives it up. Stevens. Luber. And that shot's going to be wide, and a great hustle play by Luis Calora as he is able to get the backup in time and gives the Dragons possession. Brown with the ball, gives up to Calora. Calora way up the field right now. Passes it across the middle. It's going to bounce through the middle, and Rosen somehow is able to scoop it up, but it's going to be an off-ball push against the Knights. So the Dragons will keep possession. And now the referees are going to have a conference about it. Still 20 seconds left on the penalty to D'Amico, and the referees in the end are just going to go back to status quo. Rosen, double teamed, able to give it up. Good job by Rosen as he is able to get out of the danger area and gives it to Stubbs. Stubbs from the X, getting his wheels going. 7 seconds left on the penalty. And they are going to be able to finish out the rest of it, and the Dragons kill off another penalty. The Dragon defense comes through once again. .45 on the shot clock as it's going to be Bobby Pupic looking to make something happen from the right wing. Pupic inside is going to bounce around, and Rosen took a shot to the neck. Ball is still in play, and now it looks like it's going to be a penalty against Rosen. I have to imagine it's because he said something that he wasn't supposed to. Penalty on Howard's number 22, Lucas Rosen. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 1 minute. Full time. Timeout on the field. So after the penalty to Rosen, a timeout will be called as the Dragons go man down once again. We'll take a timeout as well. Be back. We are back in action here as the Dragons once again man down. It will be started up by Rob Andrews. Andrews to Crookshank. Luber. Bieschke. They go down. Stevens back up top. Luber trying to get it inside on the pass. Now goes across to Stevens. Spin move has a knockdown. And it's going to fall to the stick of Calora. The defense comes through with another penalty kill. Davis does his normal Wade Davis thing as he's running through the middle of the field. Tries to pass off. It's going to take a deflection, and it's going to be a turnover. Still 10 seconds left. And ball is loose, but still it's going to be picked up, and staying with it is Seth Biddings, the defender, with a big play. Penalty is released, but another flag will go down. Referee is signaling offsides, but the penalty had just been killed off, so I'm not sure if there was a misread on that, but it's going to be the Knights coming through. Andrews pass it up top. Long shot is going to be put in the back of the net. Jacob Bieschke, his second of the game. And it was an offsides call that's going to be waved off on the play. Knights goal scored by number 6, Jacob Bieschke. So after the goal by Bieschke, it's going to be Ioko back in the faceoff circle going against Max Johnson. And Dragons come away with the win as Dominic D'Amico, the freshman from Eldersburg, Maryland, comes up with that one. Pressure on the far sideline. Ball is still down. The players are going for the body inside of the ball. Howard comes up with it. And it's going to be a shot clock violation as it was under 60 and they didn't get it across the midline. And Essex will take possession back. High pass over the top to Andrews. Andrews taking on D'Amico. Pass across. Spin move inside. Has to give it up. Is Wojtek. Up top to Andrews. Andrews going to make a dodge inside. He has a shot. It's going to be deflected away. He took a hard shot on that one also. It's going to bounce out, and the rebound will go in favor of the Knights. Stevens. Wojtek. Gives up to Stevens. To the top. Hurd with the shot. That one's going to go just wide of the net. And it's going to be Howard with the backup. Ferguson will start things up from the far corner. Calora. Ferguson towards the middle, and it's going to be a miscommunication there. It's going to bounce around the middle. Somehow, Howard comes up with it. D'Amico with a big play on the ground ball. Starting up top. Making the move is Quinn Brennan. Underneath, cannot connect on the pass to Faust, as that will get away. And it's going to be a turnover for the Dragons. Going through the middle is Bieshki. Has two Dragons chasing after him. And a timeout will be called by the Knights. 8:47 left in the second quarter. The Howard Dragons ahead, 7-3. Essex after the timeout. There's going to be a early pressure planned against Crookshanks on the sideline here. And he'll get the quick pass across, looking for the open man in the middle. Luber shot is saved by Calora. Another big save from the Howard goalkeeper. Going across the field. This is Wolf. Joseph Wolf with a shot, and the defensive midfielder comes through with the goal. The second defender of the game to put one in the back of the net for Howard, and it's going to be an 8-3 lead. Dragons goal scored by number 14, Joseph Wolf. It's good. Joseph Wolf, the defensive midfielder from Bristow, Virginia. And flags are going to fly all over for that hit, and certainly we're going to have another trip to the penalty box for Howard. On Howard, number 35, Ethan Sands, 30 seconds for pushing.
With number 5? 30 seconds or a minute?
So Howard lucky to have that only be a pushing penalty, so it was just be a 30-second. Dragons yet to have a man-up opportunity. It's been all Essex in that regard, but the Dragons shut the door again. Calora able to stop Stevens right on his own doorstep. Tubb running forward with it. Tubb still with it. Longpole already has one goal in the game. He will. Rosen makes a move behind the net. Pesci curls around. This is Vinny Volpe. Back to Logan Faust. Faust, the sophomore from Ellicott City, Maryland, has committed to go play at Salisbury University next year. That shot is going to be saved on the bounce shot by Pupich. Big save by Parker, and it's going to stay with the Dragons on the backup. And that pass is going to not hit the mark. Rosen gives it up. Ball is knocked out of the stick of Tyler Swift. Long shot by the pole, and that shot by Evan Atwood is going to go wide. Late hit by Ferguson is going to be missed by the referees. Crookshank, right at midline. Bieschke getting stonewalled by Nico Sells. Underneath it goes. That's going to go cross goal, bouncing around. D'Amico's just going to let it roll out, and that is going to be a possession for the Dragons on the missed pass. Stubbs. Crossed to D'Amico. D'Amico. Still D'Amico. He's looking to possibly wind up for one here and decides instead to give it up to Rosen. Rosen. Playing with it in the corner. Stubbs. Gives it up to Klopp. Faust. Brennan. Brennan going through. Brennan tries the behind the back pass. That's going to go wide. Stubbs going to let it roll out. I think Stubbs thinks it's going to be a shot, but it's going to be Essex ball in the end, whether it was a shot or a pass. Either way, Essex takes possession. Pass across, and it's going to bounce right out of bounds, and the Dragons with an opportunity. Rosen goes quick. Gives up to Stubbs. Stubbs towards the middle. That shot is going to be saved. Howard gets the rebound, tries to pass across. That's going to be deflected away. Back the other way. Here come the Knights. That shot's going to be saved by Calora. And referee's going to say an illegal play against the Knights, and Howard takes possession. Ferguson gives up to Davis in the middle. And that's going to hit off the referee on the pass, as Rosen couldn't get through the referee, and because of that, it's going to be an Essex ball. Back across. This is Ben Klein. He doesn't have much time. He's got 3 seconds to get across. Gives it back to his goalkeeper. Hail Mary pass across, and it's going to be a turnover against the Knights on the failed clear. Pupic to Faust. Tries to dump it back to Pupic. Long shot, going to go wide. Howard keeps possession. Pesci. And the referees are going to grant a timeout to the Dragons. We'll take a timeout as well. 3 minutes left on the second quarter. Back in action here as all of the first half timeouts have been called. And we are about to finish out the last 3 minutes of this first half. Howard ahead 8-3. Head coach Eric Faust drawing up the play. McGonaghy. And that's going to go across. That's going to be a deflected pass. Pupic. Pupic, bounce shot. That's going to be saved. Goes out of bounds. Howard will keep possession with a fresh 60 on the shot clock. Pesci from behind the net. Pesci gives it up. McConaughey. That shot's going to be saved by the Essex goalkeeper, Parker. He's come up with a couple big saves late in this second quarter. Under a lot of pressure. Going across the field, this is Titelbaum. Pass towards the sideline, and just saving it is Stevens. .90 seconds left. That shot is going to go in as Jacob Bieschke puts it in the back of the net. Nice goal scored by number 6, Jacob Bieschke. So Bieschke puts in his hat trick in the first half, and that has cut it to a 4-goal lead for the Dragons. Ioko versus Johnson, and the Knights come through with the win. Cruikshank, the sophomore midfielder out of Baltimore, Maryland, standing at 6'4", looking to use his imposing presence through the middle, but he lost the ball. Took a shot from Wolf, too. Wolf not afraid of that height and size of Cruikshank. Ball still bouncing around. It's a scrum for possession. Behind the back pass from the Howard defense, and they're off to the races, going through the middle of the field. This is Tubb. Makes a move inside. He lost the ball. Wolf trying to get a touch on it. He sweeps it back to Faust. Faust gives it up to Wolf. Wolf, the defensive midfielder, trying to give it up. He loses it on the pass. Pesci. Wide open, Rusin right in front of the net, and it's goal! Lucas Rosen completely unmarked in front of the net, and the Dragons have made it back into a 5-goal lead. Dragons goal scored by number 22, Lucas Rosen. And it's going to be a face-off violation against Howard, so the Knights will get the last possession here. Stevens needing to go quick. This is Peyton Stevens, and it's going to be a penalty flag thrown with just 3 seconds left. And it looks like it's going to be Ferguson going to the box as he took a shot on Maritzen right in front of the goal. Against Howard, number 19, JT Ferguson, unsportsmanlike conduct, 1 minute. County against the Knights, number 21, Peyton Maritzen, unsportsmanlike conduct, 1 minute. So simultaneous unsportsmanlike penalties against Maritzen and Ferguson. And with 3 seconds left, we will have a opportunity for some 5-on-5 lacrosse. So that will do it for the first half, but the Dragons take a 9-4 lead as we go to the halftime break. Stick around. We'll be back with you after a 10-minute intermission. Third quarter underway here in Columbia, Maryland, as the Howard Community College Dragons taking on the CCBC Essex Knights. The Dragons leading 9-4. Essex going from left to right on your screen in this second half. Excuse me, in this third quarter, I should say. And the Knights with the first possession. Sorry. Crookshank gives it up. This is Andrews. Andrews from behind the net. Still has Andrews with the jump shot. It's going to be saved by Kalora. Rebound is picked up, and the rebounded shot was saved. Luber had a chance right on the doorstep, and we're going to have another penalty on the backside of the play. So that was 5-on-5 after the simultaneous penalties at the end of the second quarter. Both those penalties were released behind the back pass by Pesci. Rosen is saved at the doorstep by Parker. And it looks like Howard will have their first power play opportunity of the game. Penalty on the Knights. Number 6, Jacob Yeschke. Illegal procedure. It's a 30-second penalty. So Bieschke is called for an illegal procedure. It's just a 30-second penalty, but for the Dragons, they finally have a man-up opportunity. They'll start it up top. Working it around the edge. This is Pesci. Finds Faust. To the top. Stubbs. His shot is going to go wide. Inside. Brennan. Bounces a pass to Pesci. Faust. Goes across. Stubbs. His shot is going to go wide again. We have a shot clock malfunction, and things are back to where they ought to be as we are able to continue play. 40 on the shot clock after the reset. Faust. Pupic. He'll try a quick shot. That's going to go wide of the net. Faust will start it behind the net. Faust circles around behind. Finds Brennan. Pass it up top. Stubbs. Backing down. Works through two guys. He gets the shot off somehow, but it's going to be saved by Parker. Big hit over the middle, and flag will fly for that one. That was a big hit in the middle of the field, and it looks like that's going to be an elbowing penalty. On Howard, number 51, Quinn Brennan, elbowing. It's a 1-minute penalty. So Brennan will go to the box. We will take a quick break as we get attention to the injured player. So Brennan goes to the penalty box for a minute as, fortunately, the injured player for the Knights able to walk off on his own power. Ball on the ground, and the referee blows the whistle, and it's going to be a turnover for the Knights. The Dragons, another man down stop. Davis across to Ferguson. Ferguson gets it underneath. Pass is not caught, though. Rosen couldn't make the catch right in front of goal. I think he had his eyes on goal before he caught it. Long pass across. What a catch there by Peyton Stevens. And the penalty will be officially released, and Howard has killed off another one. Now Essex will go. Andrews gives it to Bieschke. Bieschke has the ball popped loose by Wolf. And there was no possession, so it's going to be called an over and back by Essex as they went back across. And now Howard with possession at midfield. Brennan running towards the side. Flips it off. It's going to be towards goal. That shot is going to go wide, and it's going to go back to the Knights on the quick reaction by Parker. Parker with the floated pass across the field. Right on the mark to Maritzen. Give and go. Through the middle. Shot saved by Kalora. Maritzen had it right on the front of the Dragons' goal. And Kalora shut it down. Back the other way. Pass across. Shot. And it's in the net. The quick passing from the Dragons. Pesci finishes it on the back doorstep. And the Dragons increase it to a 10-4 lead. Dragons goal. Scored by number 8, William Pesci. Six-man scrum in the middle of the field, and it's going to be the Dragons coming away with it. That's Nico Sells. Sells, he'll try a quick shot. That's a bounce shot's going to be saved by Parker. Faust looking to get the ground ball, and it's going to be a turnover as Faust lost his glove there and can't keep playing without your proper equipment on, and that's what he was called for. That ball is going to roll out. That missed pass by the Knights. It's going to be a turnover. Going quickly is Volpe. And now he decides to pull it back. Pupic. Back to Volpe. Pupic. Passed it across as he was falling to the ground, able to get rid of it, and that is going to be McConaughey, able to scoop it up before it goes out of bounds. Howard still with plenty of time, 30 seconds on the shot clock. Faust sets the screen for McConaughey. Faust to Rosen. Rosen passes it inside to Pesci. Rosen able to dodge his man and gets the goal. Lucas Rosen, what a move there as he dodged the defender and finishes on the low to high shot into the top left corner. And the Dragons make it an 11-4 lead. Dragons goal scored by number 22, Lucas Rosen. So it's going to be Ioko versus Johnson in the middle, and it's going to be a quick win for Johnson. Bieshki. Bieshki. Pass it across and can't connect on that one, as that one's going to roll all the way out of bounds. Brown. Passed it to Calora. Quick pass up to Stubbs. Brown running through the middle unmarked, but looks like he's playing more as a decoy as the long pole gets a run through on the offense. Behind the back pass, Brennan fighting for it and is able to get possession. Now Brown will head to the midline and allow the attacking player to get on. That is Klopp getting into the action. Faust gets the switch onto a shorty. Quick passing across to the far side. Rosen's had himself a day so far. What a move. Oh my! Lucas Rosen swim moves through a couple of defenders and finishes with the low shot. And the Dragons increase it to a 12-4 lead. Dragons goal scored by number 22, Lucas Rosen. So Rosen continues his big day, and the Dragons now ahead by 8, their biggest lead of the game. Another big play by Johnson as he wins another faceoff. That ball knocked loose, and the Dragons are off to the races once again. Sells. Gives it up. Brown, he's open. He wants to rip one. He does. And Kobe Brown, another long pole, able to bounce it into the top right corner of the net. Timeout is called by the Knights, and the Dragons going nuts after that one. It is a 13-4 lead. A third defender in the game scores for the Dragons. We'll take a timeout. Dragons goal scored by number 1, Kobe Brown. Timeout, Essex. Yeah, put it over on Essex. There we go. Dragons lead 13-4 midway through the third quarter. And it's going to be a holding call against the Dragons. And the Knights able to get the possession off the face-off. This is Tyler McCardell. Andrews goes around the corner. Wojtek taking on Wolf. Ball is down as Hurd having to chase after it, able to get the play. Working on Wade Davis, and it's going to be saved by the Dragons. What a pass there. Wolf gets it up to Faust. And the referees are going to call too many men for the Dragons. Yep, there sure are 7 white shirts there in the offensive half. So a turnover for the Dragons. And once again, the Dragons still with too many men on the field. This time a flag will be thrown for it. So too many on offense, too many on defense. Dragons need to clean up their substituting. Wojtek from behind the net. So Howard's got an extra defender in right now. You'd think that they'd want to double the ball. That pass is going to go out of bounds, but it's going to be a free possession anyway, as the offsides call will come against the Dragons. It looks like it's going to be Nico Sells taking the fault for that one. Be offsides on 17, 30 seconds. Penalty on Howard, number 17, Nico Sells. Offsides. It's a 30-second penalty. Dragons with 6 penalties in the first half. They've added a couple more in the second half here. Moving across to the far side of the field, Andrews. Bieschke. Inside, that pass going to be picked off by Kalora, and another penalty killed by the Dragons. Sands off to the races, gives it up quickly. Ferguson from the top of the box, that shot is saved. Good save there by Parker as that bounce shot by the long pole. Essex with 10 seconds to get across the midline. Parker flips it up. It's going to be tipped by Sands, but picked up by Wojtek just in time for the Knights to keep possession. Davis putting some high pressure on Wojtek, trying to catch up now. Inside to Andrews. Andrews taking on Tubb. Tries to give it up. It was a chaotic looking pass, but ends up keeping possession with the Knights. Wojtek into the corner. Quick pass towards the middle. That's going to be deflected away. Luber able to pick it up. Knights still with possession. Ferguson, pressure on the side. He takes a big shot there. And a penalty is going to be called. Now the late shot there. And we have some bad feelings going on there as the shot was taken after the whistle was blown, and that was deflected away, and Wade Davis took exception to that. And we are going to see multiple players go to the penalty box after that one. On Howard, number 19, slashing, 1 minute. Penalty on Howard, number 50, Wade Davis, unsportsmanlike conduct, 1 minute. So 2 penalties against Howard. Ferguson called for the slash, Davis for the unsportsmanlike. Four scored, the 19 penalty clears, but the 51 doesn't. So Davis's penalty is locked in for the full minute. And pass across, and that one is going to go wide and out of bounds. Crookshank with the misguided pass there. Howard now with a chance to try to kill off the 2-man penalty kill. Tubbs just taking himself, loses control of the ball. Tubbs still has it. Remember, Howard's still 2 men down right now, and Tubbs still with possession. This is some impressive work and effort. And Howard is able to get the timeout called. What a play by the Howard defense. And with 2:20 left in the third quarter, just 20 seconds left on the 2 penalties, we'll take a timeout. Timeout. Howard. .220 left in the third quarter. Howard still with 2 men down. John Stubbs on the far sideline with the ball. He's double covered right now. Howard creating a wide box to try to just be able to spread out the Essex defense. And the Dragons are able to kill the 2-man down as the full complement of players able to come out now. And a huge stop for the Howard defense. Once again, the penalty kill has been sublime today. Behind the net is Brennan. Brennan comes off of the screen. Brennan still has it and decides not to shoot as he gives it up to Stubbs. Stubbs will try a long shot. That one's going to be deflected away. And with So it's going to be a shot clock violation against the Dragons. And with a minute left in the third quarter, Essex trying to get through the clear. There's a lot of pressure there. Wojtek just surrounded by red shirts, still has the ball. Now it's down on the ground. Wojtek still with it, and a flag is down once again. Free play for the Knights as they get it forward. This is Peyton Stevens. His shot is going to be saved by Calora. Another big save from the Howard goalkeeper. Penalty on Howard, number 21, John Stubbs. Pushing. It's a 30-second penalty. So it's going to be a penalty against Stubbs for pushing, and now we're going to get a stick check against Wojtek after that play on the sideline. And the Dragons might actually have something here as that ball looks pretty deep in the pocket. Referee's still talking it through. This is going to be a big play because we've seen Howard have to go through the penalty kill over and over. And a flag will be thrown for an illegal stick here against the Knights. So a bizarre series of events is that scrum on the sideline resulted in a slashing penalty against Stubbs, but the illegal stick is called against the Knights on Wojtek. So it's going to be 5-on-5 for a minute with 40 seconds left in the third quarter. And we'll see if Howard decides that they want to go for it or might just hold on to it. It's going to be a give and go looking through the middle, and it's going to miss on the play as Pupic couldn't make the catch. Going back the other way, however, Knights give it right back on the turnover. Faust. Scoops up to Brennan. And with just 10 seconds left in the third quarter, and that will do it for the third quarter. But the Howard Dragons take a 13-4 lead as we go to the final 15 minutes of play after this. We go to the fourth quarter. Just 15 minutes left in play, and Howard with a 9-goal lead in the regular season finale for both of these teams. Looking to gain momentum before we have the inevitable rematch in the semifinals next week. Scheduled for the Friday the 24th, the Region 20 tournament will be played at CCBC Essex, so the Knights will have home field advantage next time around. But the Dragons certainly enjoying the home field advantage now. Great crowd on hand to watch this. And a turnover there as the Dragons able to push out the Knights. Hurd pushed out by Sands, it looked like. So the 2 penalties are released, and we're back to being even. The Dragons with possession. That ball going through the middle, bounced around, but Howard gets the rebound. Behind the net, Pesci. Hupich through the middle, tries to give it up. That bounces around, still no possession. With no possession.
I just put it back. I put it back, yo.
So some shot clock issues as we get them resolved to get this play back underway. Right here. So play is back underway as Faust running through the middle. Passes it off to Volpe. Pupic. Under double coverage. Behind the back pass. Oh my! The behind the back pass by Pupic. Able to find Vinny Volpe, who is able to put it in from close range. And the Dragons make it a double-digit lead. Dragons goal. Scored by number 6, Vinny Volpe. And that's going to be another face-off violation against the Dragons, so the Knights will get the free face-off win. That pass gets away, picked up by Maritzen. Towards the far side. This is Wojtek. Presumably with a new stick in hand, unless they just fixed his old one. Wojtek against Davis. Picks up the double team. Passed across. Still working it around. That's Holden Williamson on the field for the Knights. A stiff arm by Peyton Stevens, and then a late shot there, and the Dragons are going to go back to the penalty box after that.
Both on number 1?
Howdy on Howard number 1, Kobe Brown, unnecessary roughness, 1 minute. Howdy on Howard number 1, Kobe Brown, unsportsmanlike conduct, 1 minute. So Kobe Brown picks up the double penalty, a minute for the unnecessary roughness and a minute for the unsportsmanlike conduct, as he was caught talking just a little bit too much for the referee's liking. And Essex now with a 2-man-up opportunity, or excuse me, a 2-minute man-up opportunity, and they'll put that one in. Knights finally able to score on the man-up opportunity. That's Joshua Crookshank putting that in. Knights man-up goal, scored by number 17, Joshua Crookshank. So the 2-minute penalty by Brown is locked in, and the Knights will win another face-off. Knights with a chance to try to pull a couple goals back here. And that shot is going to be Crookshank putting in another one on the man-up. Crookshank comes limping off the field after that, but he just scored 2 big goals back-to-back. for the Knights. Knights man up goal, scored by number 17, Joshua Crookshank. The Knights have pulled a couple of goals back and still have a man up for another minute and 12. And it's going to be a face-off violation, this time in favor of the Dragons. And we're going to have another shot clock malfunction here as the referees are going to have to get that one cleared up. So the referees will get play underway again. 68 on the shot clock for Howard. 40 left on the penalty to Brown, and that's going to be a flag thrown. And Howard will see the penalty wiped out here by the Knights. So the Knights were able to score 2 power play goals. Penalty on the Knights, number 9, Evan Atwood. Pushing, it's a 30-second penalty. So 30 seconds on the Atwood penalty for pushing. 33 seconds still left on the Kobe Brown penalty. Pesci was wide open in front of the goal, couldn't make the catch. Ball still bouncing around. Referees stop play. And it's going to be a timeout by the Dragons. 10:08 left in the fourth quarter. Howard still leads 14-6. .10:08 left in the fourth quarter. The Howard Dragons ahead of the CCBC Essex Knights 14-6. We're still on 5-on-5 here for another 15 seconds. The 2 penalties will be released within a couple of seconds of each other. But Howard with the possession in the offensive corner. And another flag goes down. This one's going to be against the Knights. And Howard will have a free possession here. Stubbs misses on the catch, can't make it. And both penalties are wiped out, but now we're going to have a fresh one to take its place. On the Knights, number 42, Albert Porter, slashing. It's a 1-minute penalty. So Albert Porter gets called for the slash, and Howard, with 1 minute of being a man up, one of their rare power play opportunities here, as they are working the ball around the top. Stubbs and Faust playing a little catch between the two. Now they're going to work it behind the net. Up top, Stubbs has an opportunity. Tries to let go of the shot. He does. It's going to be saved by Parker. Howard with the rebound. Rosen gives it up to Stubbs. Still 30 seconds left on the on the power play. Rosen working his way around. Pupic. He'll try a long shot. That's going to go wide. Stays with the Dragons with 9 seconds left on the penalty. Faust with a little roller. That one's going to go wide. And we are all even as the Knights are able to kill off that penalty. Pesci to Stubbs. Stubbs tries a bounce shot. That's going to go wide. Again, it's going to be Howard with the backup. Just 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Pesci to Faust. Faust tries to give it up, and it's going to be a shot clock violation and or a crease violation. Take your pick. And Howard with the turnover. Essex looking to go quickly. Getting it across the field. This is Titelbaum. He takes a shot there. And it's going to... One referee's pointing towards the Dragons' way. One's pointing towards the Knights' way. And it looks like it's going to stick with the Knights. At the top, this is Wojtek. Behind the net to Maritzen. Andrews. Bieshki's kick save by Kalora. And looks like it didn't hit the goalkeeper after all. It looks like it just went wide as 43 seconds left on the shot clock. Maritzen tries to curl around, and he's able to put in the net. Late flags are thrown as well. But it looks like the goal will stand for the Knights as Peyton Maritzen able to put it in. And Maritzen now looks like he is struggling after that one. On Howard, number 14, Joseph Wolf. Cross checks it ahead. 1 minute, full time. So the goal does stand, and now Essex will get the possession as well, as it was a penalty after the goal, so the 1 minute penalty with a cross check to the head by Wolf will give the Knights another opportunity with the man up. Towards the side, whip shot, and that's going to be in. Peyton Stevens put some spice into that one. And just like that, it is a 14-8 Howard lead as the Knights have closed the gap. Thank you. Knights man up goal, scored by number 22, Peyton Stevens. So Stevens puts in the goal, and they're still man up with the unreleasable penalty for Wolf. Big face-off here, and it's going to be one away by Marcello Yoko. Big win for him as Howard started to see some momentum go towards the Knights. Faust to Pesci, right in front of the goal. Pesci scores the man down goal by the Dragons. And that's a huge goal for Howard. Man down, still put one in the back of the net. Howard, man down goal, scored by number 8, William Pesci. Howard puts it back to a 7-goal lead. Yoko versus Johnson. Johnson will win that one. Ten seconds left on the penalty to Wolf. That ball bouncing around as the Wolves penalty is released. On the sideline, still with the Knights. Luber finds Wojtek. His bounce shot misses wide. Stays with the Knights. Maritzen to Wojtek. His shot is going to be into the bottom right corner of the net and in. The Knights have found their offensive mojo here in the fourth quarter, thanks to plenty of man-up opportunities, and have cut it back to a 6-goal deficit. Yoko versus Johnson once again. Knights have gotten the better of Howard in the faceoff circle in this game, and Johnson wins another one. Behind the back pass to Atwood. Quick pass to Maritzen. Excuse me, that's Peyton Stevens. Maritzen. To the middle. Stevens. Essex looking to penetrate through this Howard defense. Wojtek behind the goal. Quick pass towards the middle. Bieshki, his shot is saved by Kalora. And another flag goes flying. The referees have been busy in this game. And it looks like it's going to be a cross check against Wade Davis. Penalty on Howard, number 50. Cross check. It's a 1-minute penalty. So the Knights with yet another man-up opportunity. Luber across to Andrews, his shot high and wide. Knights keep possession. Moritzen fighting with the Dragons defender, Shane Dubois. And referees trying to figure out which team it goes to. And it looks like it's going to be a timeout called by the Knights. We'll take a timeout as well. 4:39 left in the fourth quarter. Back in action here as the fourth quarter winding down. 25 seconds left on the penalty to Wade Davis. Howard with possession. Stubbs gives up to Brennan. And Howard looks like they're going to be able to kill another one off with just 10 seconds left on the penalty to Davis. Rosen shot, goal! And the Dragons add another man down goal. Their second of the quarter as Rosen pings the top left corner. And it's going to be a 16-9 Howard lead. Dragons man down goal scored by number 22, Lucas Rosen. So Rosen, fresh off being named the regional player of the month, has continued to show why he is one of the most, if not the most valuable player in this region this year, as Rosen having another monster game against a nationally ranked opponent. Referees are going to call holding, and it's going to be against the Dragons, and it goes towards the Knights. So the penalty is killed off. We are all even again with just under 4 minutes left. And if you're Howard, you're just trying to put it on cruise control and work out the rest of this game.
Public safety is coming. Reset it.
Ball going back and forth. D'Amico with a nice play to get it back. Sands has it knocked out of his stick. Surrounded by 4 blue shirts, and it's going to go back to the Knights. That shot goes wide. Sticking with the Knights. Maritson. Wojtek. Stevens tries the bounce shot. That's going to be wide of the net. Stays with Essex. And that's going to be out of bounds. And it goes back to Howard. Sands. Flip pass. And referees are blowing a lot of whistles. And it looks like it's going to be offsides against Howard. Too many men in the offensive zone. And another turnover as Rosen is able to pick one off. Faust decides to pull it back, and a smart move there is just keeping possession when you're up is a good idea. Volpe. Volpe gives it up. Pupic, his shot is going to sail high. Faust. Into Rosen, headshot right off of the face mask of Parker. He doesn't know where the ball is. It went straight up into the air, and it's going to fall back into the stick of Parker. Running up the near sideline. Maritson gets it at midfield. Just under a minute remaining. Stevens finds Hurd. Hurd with the running shot. That's going to be saved by Calora. He picks up one more on his name. Stevens with the dodge inside. Puts it into the net. Good shot into the top right corner. And that will put the Knights into double digits. One last face-off here. And that is going to be snagged away by Ja'Kai Butler. And the final seconds will take down. So the Howard Dragons finish out the regular season with a 16-10 win over the number 5 ranked CCBC Essex Knights. A big win for the Dragons. And that will set the stage for the Region 20 semifinal rematch at CCBC Essex on Friday, April 24th at 4 p.m. when these two teams will get back at it and see who will advance to the regional championship game. On behalf of everybody here at Howard Community College, we thank you for stopping by and for your support all year long. And we will keep track of everything going on. All information will be updated on www.howardccdragons.com for all your updated Howard Community College Dragons news, sport news, scores, stats, and all the information you want. Uh, Once again, final score here in Columbia, Maryland. Howard Community College 16, CCBC Essex 10. We'll see you next time. Just making sure we see everything going on.
Can I get Nick?
Yeah.